Victory. Let's bring in news anchor for Fox 11 here in L.A., Alex Michaelson, the author of One Generation Away, Brilyn Hollyhand, and District Media Group President Beverly Hallberg. Thank you for all coming on. Beverly, to you, UFC's Dana White got the crowd fired up at Mar-a-Lago. He said the following.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit.
I got a lot of messages today, and the word quit, won't quit was in there a lot, Beverly.
Oh, it's a tremendous comeback for him. And I want to say even Dana White, who just spoke there, he pointed out that Theo Vaughn was in the audience, a very popular podcaster. Joe Rogan did endorse Trump the day before the election. And so I think you see a real change in the media where it's not legacy media that is running the narrative that all people are turning to. It's actually new media, podcasts that people are looking at. I think that's one aspect of this that has been tremendous in this election cycle, and I think is going to change legacy media for the future.
Charlemagne the God said the following today. Watch.
Democrats are going to be looking for someone to blame. Let me be the first to tell you it's not just one thing. I personally feel like Donald Trump speaks to people's grievances better than Democrats do. I know people are going to talk about misinformation and the dumbing down of society. I understand all of that, but you don't have to be intelligent to know you can't pay your bills. You don't have to be intelligent to know you can't afford groceries. People will forget what you did. They will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
I mean, Alex Michaelson, you and I talk to these people all the time. They say again and again, listen, things are too expensive.
That's what it comes down to. It's the economy, stupid. It was in 1992. It is again. It's not that complicated. If you can't afford groceries, you don't really care that much about democracy or other things. You got to feed your family. And the mainstream media, a lot of folks in it, aren't living in that reality. A lot of the celebrities that were campaigning for Kamala Harris aren't living in that reality, and they don't realize the number one issue driving things for the American people.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Meantime, the media keeps, Brilyn, this is to you, the media keeps saying it's just about racism. Listen to some of this.
Yes, there's misogyny, but it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
I mean, you look at this, Brilyn, and you think back in 2020, she ran for president, and it was only Democrats voting, and only Democrats rejected her. Were they also racist, misogynist, you name your ist?
Trace, last night was a rejection of the establishment by everyday working class Americans that truly felt ignored and overlooked. It was a rejection of the elites. It was a rejection of corporate media. It was a rejection of celebrity endorsements. Last night, the American people said we've had enough. Regardless of if they love Donald Trump's personality or not, a majority of Americans united behind his policies. None of the crap that we're seeing on your screen right now. My generation of first-time voters are excited to be unburdened by what has been, and we're tired of hearing the laugh of Kamala Harris's cackling laugh. We don't have to deal with that anymore. That's what it was. It was none of that misogynistic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I want to go through this very quickly here. Beverly Hallberg, to you. The media meltdown just a little bit more because it is the day after. Watch.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
I'd like to know what that says about us as a country.
People who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare.
People had the dream of actually being able to afford the groceries they have in the cart, Beverly Hallberg. The drama just keeps going.
Yes, it's pretty simple. A little introspection would go a long way with those on mainstream media. And here's the reality. Kamala ran a campaign on identity politics. It didn't work. Donald Trump went across the board with so many new voters that Republicans haven't gotten before. It's a very hard message for mainstream media to give when they say that this is all about racism and misogyny. They're basically saying the voter's bad, not that Kamala was a bad candidate.
Yeah, Scott Jennings said the following on CNN very quickly. Watch.
The country's not going to come to an end. The Constitution's not going to come to an end. We'll have an election in 2 years. We'll have an election in 4 years.
Alex Michaelson, the odds are we're going to be just fine, even with the new president.
Let's hope so. Look, 2/3 of the country wanted a change. They think that the country's going in the wrong direction. Harris's biggest mistake was not breaking with Joe Biden on policy to make people feel like there was going to be something different. And so because people want to be able to afford their groceries, they weren't confident that they'd be able to afford them under her.
Yeah, and I guess, Brilyn, the final thought here is you and a lot of people that you hang out with have got to be very excited about what happened early this morning.
Oh, I think ecstatic is the word to describe it. What we learned last night is you can't win an election with just pop stars, vibes, and no policies. Gen Z voted for President Trump because he has policies to make the American dream attainable again. That's what he's going to make America great again. We couldn't be more excited today.
Yeah. Brilyn, Alex, great to see you. Beverly Hallberg, great to see you as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Trace.
Thanks for having us.
Our Hispanic community